What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you with another video today. Now, this weekend was literally the weekend of the new ban list. This is the weekend for decks to really shine and decks to really kind of fall off the map. And in this video, we're going to talk about all cards affecting both decks. The decks that are going up in value, decks that are going down in value, and what's the recommendation as far as what to buy, what's still good, what's still viable. So guys, before I begin, I just want to say, please make sure to give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and if you have any questions, type down below #QVV with your questions. I'll be able to answer it in my next market watch. Now, Dark Neostorm was a set, as well as a new ban list. That coincided and basically changed the entire meta, moving forward up into the YCS Tennessee and until the Nationals of this year. And then we'll get a new meta, possibly a new ban list. But right now, what we're seeing right now is the first start of National season, or YCS season, and most likely regional season for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players out there. One of the first things I want to talk about is no material, and how the fact that it had almost no showing. The price point is called over $60 in pre-release. We're seeing it hit about $48. I'm telling you right now, even though it's a little bit higher than $47 market price, I think this card will continue to still drop down in value. Also, we see cards like Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. Over the weekend, it maintained roughly around a $45 average in the price point. Looking at the market price now, it's about $40, and we're seeing it barely $41. We're seeing it barely hold on to $40 for Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood. I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's still the weakest of all the hand traps. It just gain life points for one turn. Cool. Can you kill me? No. All right then. Then I guess you don't have game. And the deck, the card is just like, it tells your opponent to slow down their gameplay for spamming the board, but depending on the matchup, it's just not that good of a card. I think it might see some play in the future, but definitely a side deck card, not a main deck card. And then we're looking at other cards like Dingarusu, Orcust obviously being the blowout deck for this regionals. Now, I mean, this weekend. Now, in my opinion, I still think Orcust has a lot of problems with the deck. I really do. But with that said, it's still a phenomenal deck, and I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players know that. Players playing Orcust or playing against Orcust, you both know the weaknesses and strengths of this deck. The deck is definitely very consistent, puts up a great board, has multiple negates in the back row, really good. But, I felt like it's my opinion, guys, and definitely comment below and know what you guys think, but I felt like Sky Strikers was just answering that deck all weekend long. Even though Orcust is definitely showing top-tier showings, obviously just being a powerhouse of a deck, and has a lot of great combos, I feel like once you create a board of Orcust, Strikers can slowly pick apart that board, and I think that's what we're seeing here. Looking at multiple events and live streams and deck lists I've been watching. I've been up since like 5 in the morning just looking at nothing but decks. Live streams throughout the weekend, and, crappy live streams, but live streams nevertheless. And I think that Orcust is definitely a phenomenal deck to answer the entire meta, but its major problem is Strikers and Mystic Mime. And for Mystic Mime, I think it gives a game 1 a win, and then game 2 and 3, the deck just comes back and just tries to just shut it down. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below if that's the kind of meta you're feeling when you look at Orcust. It's a phenomenal deck, but it has its issues as well, which makes it a balanced tier 1 deck in my opinion. But looking at the price points, Dingarusu is almost $35 in its market price, and then we're seeing it here for roughly around $34. You got a new seller. Once again, guys, I don't really talk about new sellers. I like to go to the established sellers, even if you have a couple of sales on you. $34 is Dingarusu's price point. Once again, guys, its price point is going to decline in value. This is all hype right now. Everyone's all excited about Orcust. Rightfully so. It's a fun deck, but its price point is going to decline in value. So just remember that when you're looking to pick up a Dingarusu. Wait. Do not buy it now. You can wait, and I guarantee you'll be able to get it at a lower price point in the near future. Then we have Sign Up Mining, $32 market price, cards roughly around $32 actually. And the thing about Sign Up Mining that gets me is I think that Salamangreat players obviously going and still topping events. They don't need to play as many of these, I think, as a lot of people initially thought when we first heard about Sign Up Mining. I think this card's a phenomenal card, but being the fact that it's a once per turn type of card, and the fact that we have Flame Buffalo, we don't need Sign Up Mining as much. It's a great card still, but with that small hit, to Salamangreat, for the most part, the deck is still viable, and I think it's going to continue to still be viable up and until after Nationals. Then one of the most interesting cards of the weekend is Cherubini, Even Angel of the Burning Abyss. This was a card that got everyone initially excited for, Dark Neostorm. Market price of this card was roughly around $30. We're seeing it about $31, just hovering around a $30 market price for Cherubini. And to be honest with you, I didn't see many Burning Abyss decks do anything this weekend. Even though I'm a big Burning Abyss fanboy, I gotta admit, I'm still on team other decks. I'm working on Altergeist, I have Strikers, I have Orcust, I have a bunch of other decks. Hell, I still have Prank Kids. And looking at Burning Abyss, even though I'm really excited about it, I'm not willing to pay that amount of money for a Cherubini, for a card that, even though it's a phenomenal card, I just don't feel, I'm not feeling it, to be honest with you, at its current price point. And I think the price point lowers, we might see more Burning Abyss players play the deck, but up until that, I don't think we're not gonna see as many. Let me know what you guys think about that if you are looking to play Burning Abyss. Then we have Mech Knight Crusadia Avramax, a card that's kind of seen play, but not really. That's what I feel like Crusadia Avramax is. Looking at the market price of this card, it's $20, and $21, and we're seeing a whole $20 price point. Now, I think the card definitely deserves to be way lower than its pre-sale price. It was around, what, $35 to $40? And it's still, in my opinion, a too high of expensive card. I don't think this card's a blowout card. People are trying to compare this card to Board Soul Dragon. It's not. It's a great card, it's a great option, but nothing more than that. And I think if you're looking to play decks that can run this card, just see it as that. Don't go, V, this card is Boros Sword. No, you know it's Boros Sword? Boros Sword. This is a great card, but nothing like Boros Sword. And I think this weekend definitely demonstrated this card's viability in the meta, but not as strong a viability in the meta as compared to other cards like Boros Sword. Hell, Boros Load. Then you got other cards like Ib the World Chancellor's card, which saw almost no play. Its market price and its current price point is roughly around $14. Up next from Dark Newsome is Nightmare Incarnation Idly. This card was going down a little bit. It was hitting some lower price points, and then it moved up a little bit. A new price point for Nightmare Incarnation Idly. Its overall price point is $14. And to be honest with you, this card saw no play in the meta, and I think its price point is going to go down in value. We need to keep a stern eye on this card, because I think this card can show viability in the future of meta, but right now it has nothing. And since it has nothing, I think we need to wait on this card and see what happens as far as how the meta progresses and changes, and maybe even post-national meta. Next regional season 2020 meta, in which we can talk about Night Incarnation idly. But right now, we need to wait on this card. And while we're waiting, the price point will be going down. And then we can talk about coming back later on and picking some up. But right now, don't look at this card. It's just too expensive. Omni Dragon Brotar is about $10 short. This trash secret rare. It's going down in value. It might be good in the future, but right now it's not. And that's why it's showing a $10 market price. Then you have other cards like Crackdown. And this leads me into Altergeist and how I feel like Altergeist is a phenomenal deck that didn't have almost any representation. Not many players played Altergeist. In fact, looking at all the retail tops and ARG events and whatever the hell name other events are out there, Altergeist for the most part didn't show much play. Despite it being one of the best decks in the meta, I think it is. It didn't show much play. Now, before you go, V, get off Altergeist train hype, whatever. Listen, I think that the fact that looking at OCG where Altergeist is insanely hit heavily and is still topping, it's almost nonsensical to believe that the deck's not a good deck. It's obviously a good deck. You got cards like Crackdown, which, by the way, Altergeist crap on Strikers now because it's one card. It kind of makes the deck a lot more consistent. But still, the deck didn't show as much of a huge showing. And that could be multiple reasons. One, you players are excited about playing decks like Orcust, which is new. The new combo deck, which you can play in so many different ways and still get the same result of topping, evidently looking at the top tier list. Hugo players opted to go back to Strikers, which never really died out, but kind of changed their game plan, but it's still the same deck, and it's still doing the same thing. Hugo players could play, Thunder Dragon variants, which is still phenomenal, by the way. There's a lot of checks and balances to the current meta, and I feel Altergeist doesn't really apply to many checks and balances. But with that said, looking at cards like Crackdown, which is amazing for any Geist play. If you want to play against Strikers, you go first turn, you set Crackdown, they start combo, you just go Crackdown, give me a monster, and then they go, oh, okay, I just lose now. I think it's a phenomenal card. I think that it's a card that definitely will see more meta play. With that said, looking at True Draco, wow, now we're talking different here. And I'll go into that later on in this video. But yeah, Crackdown's definitely a great card. It's a 3-up. Get it right now. To me, this is like Red Reboot, in which you should get it right now because it's kind of low. Because it'll go back up to $5 because Konami will take forever to reprint it. Then we got Mystic Mime decks, of course. I'll talk about that later on in the video on how the decks obviously getting people their W's. Another card that I'm really shocked about is Mystical Space Typhoon. The market price of this card is roughly around $38, and we're seeing about $56, even though its price point a couple of days ago was around $100. Well, why is that? Well, because it's a high price, to be honest with you. This card is a decent alternative to the Mystic Mime builds, but you can play that often to play other cards like Red Reboot and Twin Twisters. And as long as those cards exist, cards like Mystical Space Typhoon is okay, but not as needed as other cards like, once again, Twin Twisters and Red Reboot, which is much better cards for handling that deck, for the most part. Then we got Altergeist Multi-Faker, which is currently, I mean, the market price is about $9. But when we look over here, you're seeing a guy hold over here for about $6. The price point of Altergeist Multi-Faker is dropping, giving more room for more Altergeist players. And I just feel like the meta is going to shift to what we currently have it right here. Strikers to Altergeist to Dracos, all the kind of meta decks. And I feel like Altergeist will just shoehorn it in, and then everyone's going to get on the hype train. And then then there's going to be a deck that's going to be playing more cards to stop Altergeist like Red Reboot. And then the meta's going to shift back and forth. Like kind of what we had previous meta, in which decks were doing that non-stop, shifting left and right. Then we have other decks, other things like Dangers. Dangers are obviously going up high in price. You got Tsuchinoko with a $51 market price, but we're seeing here roughly around 53s. Danger Nessie hitting easily $50. After that one's gone, it'll be about 53, higher than its $46 market price. You got Danger Jackalope, another card that's going to be hitting 24 soon. Market prices is trying to hold on to 22. The card prices of all Dangers, are, for the most part, is increasing in value. And to be honest with you, out of all these are majorities are just not needed. Even Bigfoot, it's really not needed. The main cards you want is Jackalope, Nessie, and Tsuchinoko. Those are the main three if you're looking to play a Danger variant of a deck. And the reason why I say a deck, because besides Orcust, you got Thunder Dragons, and there's many other decks that can run the Danger variant in them. Then we have Strikers, probably one of the biggest blowout decks of the weekend. Caught a lot of people off guard. If you're watching this channel, you didn't catch you off guard whatsoever. It's obvious that the deck is still viable. Looking at cards like Sky Striker Engage has a $41 market price, but you're seeing it over here at around that same price point, and in fact, easily going higher in value. There's only 23 prices on the market for this card. You got Widow Anchor, another card that's a $30 market price. Went down a little bit. I wonder how low it's going to be down for before it starts going up. The current price point of this card is roughly around $28 for Widow Anchor. And I feel like Konami really missed a beat on this. Konami missed the opportunity to make a lot of money, and if you guys don't know, Sky Striker Mobilize Engage is going to be reprinted in a set, but the set will be after Nationals. So the Battle Legends set that we want this to come at, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players will go crazy for, is at the Nationals. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Players looking to play Strikers, well, you still got to play with the Dark Savior expensive Strikers, unfortunately, up until after Nationals, where everyone going to have access to Sky Striker Mobilize Engage. I guarantee you Widow Anchor is probably going to be printed in that same set, and to be honest with you, the boat's going to pass at that point. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players already they're going to be done with Strikers in fears of the new ban list. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players going to be looking for a new meta deck, which obviously is going to be appearing soon after Nationals and World Celebration. So I feel like Strikers are good right now, but only good up until Nationals. And at that point, we'll see all these price points tank in value. And then moving forward, guys, we have Mythical Beasts. Pendulums are still there, and they're still a dominant deck, and I feel like they're one of the decks that definitely want to always go first. Go and check out Pendulums, the new Pendulum Magicians, and the old Pendulum Magicians. It's kind of a pain depending on the board your opponent can establish. But if Endymions or Pendulum Magicians can go first, it's a big deal. And looking at the price points, it's not that big of a deal, because a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are already done with Pendulum hype, and then moving forward towards the Orcust hype. And we're seeing the values decline a little bit. You got Mythical Beast Master Service with a $19 price point from the original set, hitting about $17. You got the 2018 Megaton version, which is trying to hold on to $14. You can see over here, guys. You got Mythical Beast Garuda, which is like a $12 market price, obviously unsustainable. We're seeing it hit about $8 and going down in value. You got Mythical Beast Jackal King, the ultra rare versions. They're just holding on to $6 or $7 price points. The super rares are about 3s, and for the most part, that's really as far as Mythical Beast cards. And to be honest with you, I like the Mythical Beasts. I like playing Pendulums. I like the Endymions. I don't own them, but I do like them a lot. And I would probably sell the Mythical Beast stuff, just because I don't think Mythical Endymions, even though they're a phenomenal deck, they do have a lot of issues more than a tier 1 decks, and I would consider Endymions tier 1.5. I might do a thing and discuss the tier list for everybody. Explain which, maybe we'll go by S tier, A tier, B tier. We'll do it like that, because I think we have so many decks in the meta right now. I mean, an insane amount of decks in the meta that are in any other meta previously would be that's a dominant powerhouse. But since we're in this meta, they don't fit properly in there. So we're going to grab a bunch of decks. I'll probably do a video later on, and we'll discuss what is the tier list and what fits where, because I think a lot of decks have a lot of variants. And for Orcust, we'll discuss every version of Orcust, because there's a lot of them. Moving forward, guys, you got Infinite Impermanence from Dual Power, which is going down in value even more. Market price of this card is about 38, but we're seeing it already hit about $37. And to be honest with you, this card was about $40, $41. It's just declining more for the ultra rares, because nobody really cares about Dual Power. I think we're all done with Dual Power. We got what we want. There might be future value in Dual Power, but nothing really right now. No reason to buy Dual Power, basically. Moving forward, one of the big shocks for everybody this weekend was two Dracos and how the fact the deck is still more resilient, and it could play so many cards like Mystic Mime. It could play Crackdown relatively easily, and then it could just sack Crackdown. Hell, like I said it in the market watch not long ago. It could play Lad and just burn your opponent's resources by just using Crackdown, taking one of your opponent's monsters and sacking both away. Well, sacking the monster away, and you're one of the monsters for Lad. Still a phenomenal card. Compulses at 3 and 1. And then look at cards like Dramatic Diagram. Market price of this card's about $760 for the Battles of Legends Secret Red, the first reprint. Or was it second? The second reprint. And we're seeing that price point already hit almost near $9. It's about $850 roughly. You got the 2018 Dramatic Diagram. That price point's about $650. That card's hitting $9. By the way, these cards prices were like $1 to like $3 max last week, and you look at already the changes. Then you get the Maximum Crisis, Original Print, Secret Rare, Draconic Diagrams. It's $18 to $19 higher than a $6 market price. This is why Rarity Hoard'em is so important. This is why I really emphasize to any Yu-Gi-Oh player who's out there going, V, what's the difference? They're both Secret Rares. Sure, they both are Secret Rares. They looked almost the same. That's also true as well. But realistically, the difference between original print and non-original print is vast in price points if the card was to go up because of hype or because of meta relevance. But looking over here, guys, you can see it. This card's $9, this card's $18, double the price, but they're the same exact card. Well, why? Because original print is the better version for Rarity Horse, and those who go into the market will pay more for the original printing of a card. Then you got cards like Ignis, the True Draco Warrior, one of the very few cards in Dracos that has not been reprinted to hell. Looking at it right now, the market price is about $17s, but you can see over here, guys, it's $16 all day long to $17 as well for Ignis Heat. It's still a lot of money, and I wouldn't be surprised if this card goes higher in value, because everyone's buying into Ignis Heat as well as other Draco cards. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. Now, Mystic Mime, there's a build at top that won San Diego, and I won't be surprised moving forward we would see other decks play. Maybe it was San Diego, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised moving forward we would see other decks play Legion or Legionman. This card was a trash Secret Rare, dollar Secret Rare. I have about 30 of these. I swear to God. This one and what's the other card? So let's see, Absorber. I have tons of these cards because I just bought them in collections, threw them to the side. Bought them in collections. So looking at the card, banish 3 cards on top of your deck face down to your third standby phase after this card's activation. Add those 3 banish cards to hand. You can only activate one of these cards once per turn, but I mean, turn 1 Legion, turn 2 Legion, and then start harvesting those seeds, boys. But looking at the card price point, it's about $1.60 in the market. Unlimiteds are almost there $5. First system versions are at $8 for this card. And to be honest with you, I don't know if it's going to maintain that high price point. I think this is the best time to sell this card, unless you're playing a Mystic Mime Burn and you want to run some pro tech like Legion or Legionman. Another card is Goddess Skull Oracle. Now, before you go, V, this card's trash. You're right. No, it is trash. 100%. No doubt in mind, this card's trash. But once again, if you're looking at wearing Mystic Mime Burn, this could be a really good card. Playing against your opponent, it says once per turn during the main phase, you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. And if you do, place them in any order. But you can't normal summon special summon except fairies. And in a deck like Mystic Mime Burn, where you have 3 monsters you can summon, and to be honest with you, you don't always need to summon it, it's not that big of a deal. This card helps you plan your opponent's top 3 cards of your deck, taking that 2 Twisters that they would draw next turn, throwing it to the bottom, next turn, activate the card effect, take that 2 Twisters, put it on bottom again. So, yeah, no, this is definitely a phenomenal card, and it's currently dirt cheap right now. I guarantee you it'll still continue to be dirt cheap. Everyone cracked the hell out of Shadows of Valhalla, but you're looking to play Mystic Mime Burn, this is definitely the card you're going to want to grab. Then you have another card like Unending Nightmare. Now, here's the weird thing. This is a double-sided sword for both players. More or less the players who play against Mystic Mime Burn, but definitely good if you are playing Mystic Mime Burn. Let me explain. You got the, let me go over price points. 49 cents for the Ultra Rares, you got them 40-50 cents all day long. But the original print Secret Rares, the price point, once again, is hugely different. $2.50 for Unending Nightmare versions. We're seeing over here about $4. After that one's got the next versions almost near $7 for this card. And the reason is simple. You activate it and you just slow your opponent's roll down. Against the deck, it's still a great card because you get to stop everything, including Mystic Mime, including any of their activated face-up cards like Oracle. I think that a little silly stuff. Going back to Orcust though, Orcust Trickstars is definitely another deck that Yu-Gi-Oh players are opting to run. It has a strong opening turn. It has a relatively good good stance right up the gate against Mystic Mime Burn as well. And it kind of strike as well because you kind of force activations with the field spell. But look at Korribane. Its market price is $8. The card's easily hitting 10s, almost near $11 for Trickstar Korribane. I believe it's a one-of. I could be wrong though. Comment down below if you are playing the build. Do you run 2? Let me know. And then you got other things like Trickstar Reincarnation, because why not? Trickstar Reincarnation, great card if you're looking to go first or third, depending on the match. First or in game 3 go first, in which your opponent, the minute they search you, Reincarnation, draw them. It's a viable thing. So thanks Konami for not hitting this. Looking at Battle's Legends Secret Rares, $11 on the market price. We're seeing it hit about 11s. Same price point, by the way, for the Dakota Duel Secret Rares. It's about $11 as well. Then you have Trickstar Likers Ultis. Now, if you cracked a ton of OTS 9, went to your locals, played, and got a lot of this set, to be honest with you, I would highly recommend you sell these right now, because this is the highest Likers is going to be before nobody cares about it again. Before Trickstars are going back to obscurity. Look at the price point, it's $17 for OT Likers, and you're seeing over here almost near, I mean, you got one for 19. After that, they're about 22s, easily hitting $25 on the bottom of the page. A lot of 1s and 2s. There's a 9 up and around the $25 price point. For Lycaris, because you can run it and it's max rarity. It's beautiful in Orcust. And once again, like I said, it's a nice card, but yeah, no, this card's definitely a card you should get rid of as soon as possible. Unless you're at an official tournament store, you gotta view Konami's OTS moving forward. Another card is Trap Trick. Now, this didn't see as much play this weekend. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this card definitely did not see as much play as I think a lot of players thought it was going to. Looking at the market price is roughly around $41, and then unlimited versions are about 43s. First editions are hitting $44 to almost near $45 for Trap Trick. So it's still at a high price point, way high price point for a card that really isn't seeing as much play. I think moving forward, the price of this card is definitely going to go down in value. Then you have Phantom Skyblaster tokens, because if you're looking to play Danger Orcust, whatever it is, Danger Orcust, Thunder Dragons, you're going to want to play your one of Phantom Skyblasters. Well, the tokens that came out forever ago, market prices are about $1.50. No, they're not. Then you got one for $1.80. You got another one for $5, and after that, you got a crappy moderately played for $22. So once these two are gone, the price point of a token can hit as high as $20 easily. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Moving forward, guys, you need to get your Phantom Knight Rusty Bardish. It's about $4. Look at the market price. It ain't going to 5s anytime soon. There's a ton of walls, by the way. You got 24, 27, 50, 19. Ton of walls for Rusty Bardish, because it came on Legendary Hero decks, in which a lot of people opened late because the shipping at the time. And yeah, no, this was definitely a horrible box. But with that said, it's good. Like, there's cards you could use now. You can get rid of the Ultra Rare Twin Twisters that are hitting their 6s. You can sell them if you want to grab the Secret Rares. They're almost at the same price point. You got Rusty Bardish, which you need. You got Fog Blades, and you got a ton of the Phantom Knight cards that you basically need for this. Then you got Phantom Knight Fog Blade. Besides the common one, which is like $3 for a common, you got the Secret Rare versions, which are hitting almost near $8, which is higher than the current $7 market price. Then you got cards like Tour Guide. Once again, like I said earlier in this video, guys, Burning Abyss didn't do much. It didn't have any kind of showing. Not even a dominant showing. Just any showing from what we can currently see as far as the videos on YouTube and the live streams and everything that I personally have seen as well. With that said, if you're holding an Ulti Tour Guide, would you continue to hold it? Would you still maintain holding this card, knowing that its price point might decline in value? Market price of Ulti targets are about $76, and then you're seeing over here almost near $80. After that one's gone, by the way, it's about $85 for Ulti Tour Guide. Do you hold it for the memes, the memories, the love? Or do you get rid of it and go, you know what, I'm done with this card, I'm done with this deck, I'm going to play other decks because the deck didn't perform well? I would love to know if you guys are looking at, if you got Burning Abyss players out there, because looking at the price points, everyone, a majority of Yu-Gi-Oh players still held on to that Burning Abyss stuff. It's still a great deck, it still has a lot of cool things, and it got a new card, so I would love to know what's happening with BAs. Moving forward to Burst Dragon. Now, this card is insane. I think it's a little bit better in Orcust, but better in general for just every other deck as well. The market price of this card is still relatively high. It's about $14 all over the place. For Joe Burst Dragon, one of my favorite things about it is during the main phase, except to turn this card special summon, you contribute to target a link to a low-weight monster in your graveyard, bring back that Galatea, helping. I mean, you can use this for other decks and combos as well. And of course, if you're playing against strikers, this card makes it so you can negate the activation of that Ray in graveyard, stunning your opponent and just trying to push for game more. Then we have OTS Pack 10. Now, before you say anything, looking at the high price points of OTS Pack 10, the first thing to go is, why is this all so expensive still? It's a great question. Well, OTS stores are only given a certain amount of OTS Pack 10. And unlike previous OTSs, where we can get more, the odds of getting more OTS Pack 10 for an OTS store is actually really low. In fact, almost non-existent. I would argue Konami has none. They're just gonna, if a store requests more, they're just gonna crap on the store and tell them do better and deal with it. The next OTS set we should be getting, whether it be OTS 11 or a new Konami name, would be around August. That's the exact date that was given. August is when we're getting the new OTS set. So whatever OTS promotional product your store has, that's it. That's all they're getting. I know I still have a good amount left. Kind of got to ration it. Konami sent a email to stores earlier this weekend talking about the OTS and what's the best way to go about setting a price support for players at locals, and basically don't run out your OTS stuff because we're gonna get angry if you. It was a really ridiculous email. I can't go into full details because they had that little confidentiality thing, which is so silly. But yeah, basically whatever OTS stuff is out there, and I don't think stores are gonna be able to get more of it. With that said, looking at OTS Pack 10, all the prices are still insanely inflated, and I don't think these prices are going to be cooling down up until after Nationals, and even then, it still might be high value cards all throughout this OTS. It's not going to be like 9, 8, 7, 6, any of those. I can't say 5 because that one was insane. But looking at Thunder Dragon Colossus, $77 on the market price, we're already seeing it hit 65. Well, why? Because the only deck that's out there is Dangerous Thunder Dragons, or technically Pure Thunder Dragons. There's still some of those running around, but a lot of Dangerous Thunder Dragons, which would love to have OT Colossus. Other than that, no deck cares about this card. So this card is going to be dropping down the value, and the new high value card of OTS Pack 10 is going to be Galatea. We see this price point slowly rise in value, and looking at it right now, guys, you got a market price of $69. You got one guy who's a new seller selling it for $71, and then after that, the price of Galatea is going to be hitting $80. It's insane. And if you're playing Orcust, you need 2 to 3 of these per deck. So what is that? 160 for 2 cards, or 240 if you want to run 3 of Galatea. Whew, that is crazy numbers. And the thing is, you would think Yu-Gi-Oh players wouldn't buy at those numbers. You'd be wrong. We bought $100 engages, diagrams, ash blossoms, and Impermanence. We bought the cards. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh players will be going and buying Galatea's ultis all day long. So this card's insanely high in value right now. The market price currently, I'm gonna give it around 80. There's a guy holding a $71. You got a picture. He's a new seller. You do what you want to do if you want to buy from him. But after that, guys, it's $80 for Galatea, and yeah, I don't think this card price is going to cool down as much. I think moving forward into the YCS, coming up at the beginning of next month, this card price, I think it's going to stabilize at its $8 price point. It might cool to $75 a little bit, but that's going to be hovering prices for a really wanted card. $75 to $85 is a price point I would go if I had to predict Galatea's price point for the next month. Then you got Sky Striker Ace Hayate, which is continuing to decline in value. Strikers is still a dominant deck, and I think the price point of Hayate might have paused in its decline. Look at the price point of this card, is about $48. You got a guy over here selling about $34 to almost $35 for Hayate. And after that, it hits like 37. It's really weird, the jumps for this card. And I think Strikers are going to go higher in value because Yu-Gi-Oh players are opting to grab it and go and get Strikers, because you got to play Strikers, or you play Orcust, or you play the other decks in the meta. But you're definitely going to have to go in and grab new Striker stuff, and now Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to be going back to Strikers, and if you got your competitive Yu-Gi-Oh players, they're going to want to stock up on high value cards. They're either going to need OT Galateas or OT Hayates, as well as the rest of the OT Striker package, which has long since been declined in value. You got, I think, OT Gagaris about 25s, Shizukas are 27s in value as I'm taping this video right now. So Hayate being at where it is, it's not that crazy to think you buy out of 3 of these, or you buy a full extra deck for Strikers minus 2 Kagaris, for around the same price point, if not a little bit less, depending how you build the rest of the deck. So, yeah, I think we'll see a lot of more Striker players in order to counter Orcust players, or an attempt to counter Orcust players, is what I really should be saying. Then you got other cards, Sunlight Wolf, which is still at $7 way after the OTS 10's been released. And we're seeing it here stabilizing at $7 for a super rare in the OTS pack. And this is another thing why I say, guys, go to your locals, play in your locals, because for a $5 pack value, you can pull a Sunlight Wolf. Just curious about $4, a little bit under, but anything Sunlight Wolf and higher is just pure icing on the cake. Anything you win in that OTS, that's OTS related, pack related, for topping that event or in general, is just value. OTS Pack 10 is just so hot right now, and I got a lot of players going to me going, hey man, can we have an OTS box tournament? Can we get more OTS packs? And can I give you more money for more OTS packs? Stuff like crazy stuff like that. And no, it's like I said, we just have a limited amount. OTS stores, me and my fellow other OTS stores have a very limited amount of this product that we want to stretch until August, but still want to give you guys the access to this great product, which is very hard to find other than OTS stores, eBay, and TCG Player, and trade binders. Then you have other cards like Orchestrated Babel, which went up a little bit. It was like $1 card. Now went up to around $4. Everyone needs one of those if you're looking to play Orcust. Heaters are $3, and wow, this card's insane. The things you could do with this card, the fact that you could grab this card and put it in a majority of decks in the meta right now and still have it show play is just absolutely bonkers. You're gonna want to grab one of these. There's people that have like 15 or 4. There's a good amount of these in the market. They're about $3 still, but if you crack one in an OTS store, you're good to go. Moving forward, guys, comment question of the day comes from Casual Chaos. He goes, #Q4V. I sometimes go to a sports card shop that sells Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. The first time I got away with murder from the dollar binder. Then I went another day and they actually had a Yu-Gi-Oh guy, and I tried it again. Every time I pulled something, the guy was like, oh no, not that card, or he would not sell to me, so now I will go there when the guy is not there. I looked again at the Yu-Gi-Oh site and it says that Speed Duel OTS packs should be out. I talked to 2 card shop owners, and they're telling me that they can't get them. Can you confirm this for me? Thanks. Card shop owners around me don't seem to like Speedos too much. That's why I want to confirm. Try to know if they're just okay. Listen, guys, let me explain something to you. Let me explain the first thing. The dollar binder thing is perfectly legit. I'm glad that you go when he's not there, because I'm always about plussing. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just a card shop owner. And when you're a card shop owner, sometimes you gotta be a bad guy. So I totally get why this card shop owner of that store has a guy to help do that, so the owner makes more money, to help to keep the lights on, to keep the place in business, to get more product. It makes perfect sense. But I ain't gonna lie, it's a cat and mouse game with the dollar binders. And if you catch them before the cat is there, good. Go get your pluses. I'm all for that. With that said, looking at Speed Duel and OTS, Speed Duel is in a weird situation right now, and I was thinking about doing a video about it, but I'll just sum it up real quickly at the end of this marker watch right now. Speed Duels came out with structure decks, which created a 2-deck meta. Then we finally, after what, 2 months? I think it was about 2 months, got our first set, in which mostly you just cared about Spirit mode, Spirit Career mode, not Spirit mode, Spirit Career mode, and everything else in that set was nice for the other current fun Speedo decks, but competitive-wise, the 2 decks remain as Tier 1 and 1.5, being Blue Eyes Dot deck, and Amazons. That's the current meta. We're getting a new Speed Duel set, hopefully coming out soon, but the distance between the releases of Speed Duels has been so long, Yu-Gi-Oh players that were excited originally about Speed Duels are just not excited. They're losing interest. Now, it really depends on your locals. I guess it depends on how Speed Duels is. At my locals, I have a good amount of players that really love Speed Duels. The decks are cheap to buy. Yu-Gi-Oh players basically just went amongst each other and said, hey man, I'll go on this deck, you go on this deck, and they were cool about it. And Speed Duels is really relatively cheap, and the amount of value you get in Speed Duel packs, OTS packs, as well as playing for a box of Speed Duels, because it's so easy to do, and playing for 2 or 3 boxes, depending on players enter your tournament, it's so easy to do. Yu-Gi-Oh players that play Speed Duels, once you get a community, it's hard not to get rid of them. They love it. I have people text me nonstop about certain Speed Duel cards, or certain rulings, or all that kind of stuff. With that said, some stores got Speed Duel OTS, and other stores did not. This is something that KONAMI did. This is fact. OTS Speed Duels is out for OTS stores that have a Speed Duels community. KONAMI did not just blindly give Speed Duels to every single OTS store. It would be a waste of KONAMI money, and it would be a waste of the time. And to be honest with you, a lot of those cards would most likely end up in the secondary market, in which KONAMI is trying to currently stop. That's why they're doing the same thing with OTS packs as they're doing with Speed Duels. They're trying to stunt the secondary market, which I agree with for the most part, and I disagree with very few. With that said, I'm sorry that you don't have Speed Duels. It's once again, KONAMI by doing this has stunted the growth of Speed Duels in certain areas. Of course, that with the conjunction of Speed Duels not having any kind of real support besides the only decks in the meta right now, so it kind of slows down the amount of Speed Duels. Those shops that you go to, I guarantee you, they don't have a Speed Duel community. They hardly buy Speed Duel product. I guarantee you that's the case. And if that is the case, well, Konami's not going to be sending them Speed Duel OTS packs up until they have a Speed Duel community. I'm hoping that makes any kind of sense. Is it ass backwards? Yeah, bet it is. It absolutely is. With that said, what's going to happen? Well, unless Konami creates an actual meta and creates a way for Yu-Gi-Oh players to have incentive to play in Speed Duels, besides the Speed Duel OTS packs that can only be attained for OTS stores that already have an established Speed Duels player base, nothing. Konami has to make it so Yu-Gi-Oh players want to play speed duels. Give us incentive, or we're not gonna touch it. Now, myself personally, I have about 5 speed duel decks. And I got a lot of players in my locals that play speed duels. So luckily, I was able to get some for my players at my store. I had some players that were overzealous, wanted to offer me some extra money. Some crazy things going on. A lot of crazy things happening with speed duels, being the fact that speed duels aren't made available for everybody. The price is at such a crazy high crazy high price point. Everyone wants to crack speed duel packs and run to eBay or Amazon or trade. The speed duels has basically become, speed duel cards have become second currency, and they're a huge sleeper market right now, and a market I personally don't want to touch. And the reason I don't want to touch that market with a 10-foot pole is because it's a market of a meta that's not existent other than 2 decks. Like I said, I think I have about 14 to 20 players that play speed duels. I currently have speed duels on my locals. I only said 14 because I think this past week I think we had 14 players for our tournament. But the meta has only been 2 decks. That's it. Only 2 decks. I think I got one player who's looking to play Relinquish. He's trying something out. But for the most part, that's the meta. And it's stale and it's dead. But Yu-Gi-Oh players play it because it's good value in cards. That is for a non-existent meta, which price support is mainly done by the OTS/Konami if it's an established player base. Hopefully I answered your question with all that information. I'm sorry that you don't have access to Speed Duel OTS. I'm hoping you do. Listen, man, the best thing you can do realistically is start working on a Speed Duel player base. Go to your OTS shop owner and go, hey, give us an OTS pack when we play Speed Duels. Work that thing out with your OTS store. I guarantee you they'll want to do it. They should be able to do it, and if that's the case, you can slowly build up a speed duel player base at your OTS store before you start getting speed duel OTS packs. One thing, guys, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I know it's a long video. I love your questions, guys. I love everything you asked me, and I tried to do a live stream last night, but I blacked out. I might do a live stream later on this week. We'll see. But I really appreciate you guys watching my videos, watching everything. Your boy V here is just been going crazy with the meta. I have decks over here, and I'm trying to consolidate all my decks into about 2 decks, which is very difficult for meta wise. And because I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have about 8 decks, and I'm trying to consolidate those to 2 decks that I care about for the meta. And it's really hard. And I guarantee if you guys are out there watching this video right now, you're probably trying to figure out to do the same thing. Hopefully I'll have a tier deck video later on, guys. And what deck are you playing right now? Strikers, Orcust, Dracos, Altergeist, Mystic Mindburn. I mean, there's so many decks in the meta right now. What are you doing? And I'll tell you right now, what's gonna happen with the meta is up to anyone's question or anyone's standards. It's really just out there, and who knows what's going to happen. And that's the kind of exciting and fun part about Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Everything seems pretty healthy and pretty fun, and there's not one deck that's the best deck in the meta. There's a bunch of decks that are really good. For myself personally, I don't know what I'm going to run. Mystic Mindburn, Altergeist, Burning Abyss, Sky Strikers, Orcust, Danger Orcust, Sky Striker Orcust, Hero Orcust. What builds out there to run? And if you guys want to know what I'm running, tune in next time, next episode of Dragon Ball V. I'll see you later, paisanos.